Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery and Dr. Bobby Jane, psychiatrist with the Texas Tech Health Science Center Clinic, is here today again talking about some of the issues that we need to respond to from your questions on mental health. And another question that we had was, can a parent of a young child sit in with them, or are they separated, or what? And so you were about to answer that when we had to go to break.
Sure. That's a very, very important question, particularly with small kids. They're very scared to be in a physician's office, thinking that they may get a shot because from the previous experiences, and because most families, young mothers are very skeptical of letting the child alone, and protective of their children. So we do understand that too. Usually with the pre-adolescent kids, we try to see them together for a few minutes, make them feel comfortable, ask what's going on, see the interaction, how they do. That gets us a lot of information. Then we talk to the parent alone, in the absence of the child, in pre-adolescent kids, to get more information, something the parent may not be comfortable talking in front of the child. Having get that information, then we talk to the child alone, if it's okay with the child. It may not be possible for a child to be separated from the parent in the first sitting. We may do that in second and future, so that the child becomes more comfortable interacting with me. And then finally we get together to get an impression, to talk about what really the assessment really has. And we ask similar questions to both of them. Particularly with child, we talk about, in the absence of parent, about abuse or things like that. So if there's something going on in the family, the child will be more comfortable talking about it. So it depends on the child. If we have very anxious child, we tend not to traumatize the kid, but tend to see them with their parents. And as a child becomes more comfortable interacting with me, then maybe in future we will talk to him or her alone.
Well, another person had called and had a 12-year-old daughter that she felt like was being bullied, but she would not tell her mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so she thought maybe they would talk more to a psychologist or a psychiatrist than she would. And that was one of the things that she said, if I have to go in there and sit with them, I know she's not going to talk.
Right. And some of the anxious kids are very reluctant to talk, but that's what we are professionals here. We are trained in making children talk to us, be comfortable with us. It may not happen in one single time, but that's how the process goes there. And it's very important to talk to the children alone, particularly in traumatized girls.
Well, is it harder to get the younger ones to talk, or the older ones, like the chronically depressed male that we were just talking about?
Yeah, it's both ways, Johnny. If you can, I think the most difficult person to talk to is a teenager who does not want to be there and doesn't want to talk to you. That's probably a nightmare situation. But with experience, you probably try to, you really have to come down to the level, talk about issues first, what's important for them. If you start talking about, hey, what's going on, how come you got so bad grades, they're going to shut up. But if I'm going to start talking about the latest video game, or the latest pop star, or latest song, or the girlfriends they have, a girl they have crush on, or the boy have their crush on, that probably will break the ice and have talked them. So it's a kind of slow process, but most of the times we are successful in getting more information. And kids, it's difficult again, because a lot of times younger kids, I'm talking about 5, 6, or maybe even younger, which I see kids up to starting at 3 years of age. I mean, some have even at 2.5 years with aggression.
And you never think about somebody that young having depression or...
Yeah, actually, the youngest kid I have just turned 3 with severe aggression problems, and
severe aggression problems at the age of 3. Oh,
yeah, this aggression is so bad that the mother is not able to control the child, desperately need for help, cannot leave. Mother is a single mother and she works, so she cannot put the child in daycare because the kid is aggressive towards other kids. I mean, aggressive to the point that punching other kids in the face and things like severe aggression. But so those kind of behavior problems do exist in children, then they need help. And usually when as you were telling me, one of the kids having severe aggression problems you were describing, if kids have that degree or that severity of aggression, a number of scenarios can explain that. First of all, has that developed suddenly or has developed gradually? That's very important.
Well, and let me paint this picture.
Sure.
We had a woman call in, and she has 4 children, and one of them one of the middle children, a girl, was very aggressive and had intimidated her older siblings and her younger sibling to the point where they were afraid of her.
Yeah.
And it was as much verbal abuse and manipulation as it was mental.
Right.
I mean, physical.
Physical.
And so she had kept trying all the tricks, and she said nothing works. And I've got before it goes out into the rest of the world.
Right. And this is really, I mean, can you imagine a girl going through a small girl's mind with such an aggression, irritability? Must be very uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
And for parents, by the time they come to see us, they probably have exhausted all other possible disciplinary methods that they can possibly use it. So a couple of things can be happening in this scenario. First of all, as I said, if it's sudden aggression, sudden development of aggression over a short period of time, maybe a few days or even a week, that's sudden.
That's one thing, but
it directs towards different psychopathology compared to someone that has been gradually developing. And the other thing you want to distinguish that's happening at home or at school or both places. Other thing you want to know is what other things are going along with the child. The child's also having trouble with studying, focusing, sleeping, or the child is suddenly becoming aggressive without any provocation or with the slightest of provocation, or the child is irritable throughout the day, wakes up in a bad mood and continues to be bad mood until she goes to sleep.
So you're looking for either a trigger, or is this all the time?
Yeah, exactly. And those kind of different scenarios you really want to know, because it directs towards other resources. But someone, as you described, who is so aggressive that even an older sibling is scared of her, then usually it's a grave psychopathology. When I say that, that child really needs to see a psychiatrist.
And it could be something, even going back to being abused herself. And the parents don't even know it.
Exactly.
And so that's
one
really
of the major underlying causes that may be causing a child to have sudden change in behavior.
We have hardly scratched the surface of this program, and I've still got more questions on his list that I've had asked for him. So we're going to be back next Sunday with another program, and we're going to ask Dr. Jane to come back then. So tune in and have more of your questions answered. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.